Hi, my name is Johnny Salinas, and I teach saxophone at Oklahoma State University's Greenwood School of Music. Today, I will be playing the first etude for the OkMEA Saxophone Auditions Round 1, Allegro, page 7 from the Voxman Selected Studies. In this etude, one should remember that the tempo is Allegro. However, you should play at the tempo that you can tongue, meaning there are parts of this etude where you have to tongue for 4 beats straight in 16th notes. Some of the stuff at the beginning, you could play this at 120 with the slur 2 articulation. However, you have to be careful because we're going to get down to the 4th line, first measure, where you have all this articulation. And I've seen it in a lot of students that I've taught over the years where they start off very quickly and then have to slow down because their tongue inevitably falls behind. So my first tip for today would be choose an appropriate tempo that you're going to be able to play this. So if you can only articulate 16 notes at 100, then most likely you can only play this etude at 100. And that's okay. The tongue is a muscle that we have to exercise, and you need to get with a private teacher or a band director or some sort of musical mentor and see if you can work on developing fast tonguing. Once again, this etude is supposed to help you with that. I mean, of course, the goal is hopefully if you play well enough, you will make the all-state band here in Oklahoma. But remember, it's all about the process. So even if you don't make it, after doing this, you should have better articulation, maybe a faster tongue. So just keep in mind the big picture. Yes, we all want to win awards, but it's going through the process and exercising and getting a better, more fluid, more articulate tongue. And I think that's something we want to work on. Faster, clear articulation in this etude. So that would be my biggest thing. The other things just to keep in mind are this is in the key of F. So a lot of times you can either use your bis B flat or side B flat. Both of them are totally acceptable. For the most part, if you're playing something that's a scale, go ahead and try using the side B flat. It's going to work well. Bis is also a wonderful fingering. Any of these arpeggios that require bis, a lot of B flat arpeggios throughout the etude, go ahead and try using bis. If you use side, you can do it, but it's not as fluid as using a bis B flat fingering. There are some octave jumps that we all need to be aware of, and I think everyone who's watching knows what I'm talking about. We're talking about 6th line, second measure. You know, so you really want to be careful about rocking that octave key. If you're one to move, you're probably going to fall behind. So we want to work on rocking that octave key. You can also add rhythms to this measure to see if that would help. And you can flip that rhythm. And after doing some of those, you can try putting back into context. Definitely a tough measure. It's one you're going to have to practice really slow. Lastly, there are not many dynamics written into this etude. And for the most part, most of the etudes we play out of the Furling book or the Selected Studies, a lot of the fast etudes have very minimal dynamic markings. We see at the top page there's a forte, and then towards the bottom half, third to last line, we see a fortissimo. Outside of that, that's it. So I think it's going to be up to you and perhaps your private teacher to maybe talk about what I call dynamic shading, and that's just adding your own dynamic coloring to try to make this etude a little bit more interesting. You could totally play it all forte straight down and then fortissimo at the end, but I think you would benefit from experimenting and maybe thinking about the way musical phrases should be shaped. You have to be an artist and have to start thinking musically of what makes sense here. Maybe do I follow the contour of the rise and fall of the 16th notes? Maybe crescendoing up as we ascend, and then maybe doing diminuendoing as we fall. So I hope when I perform this for you that you're able to see some of the things that I'm doing with my own dynamic shading. And above all else, try to have fun with this piece. I think it's a cool etude, and it's one that once you get going, it's really, really a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy page 7, Allegro, from Voxman Selected Studies.